Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. And available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to leave us a rating, review, or a comment if you're listening to us in the audio realm. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell right next to it. This is, of course, the Matt Chat Sunday edition. And, it's a lot of fun. We get these video questions in from patrons at the $20 a month and up mark. I always like hearing and seeing our patrons out there. When it's just you and me stuck in this office, it's hard to remember that there's a lot of people out there who enjoy our programming for whatever reason that may be.
And seeing some new faces is always great because there's times when, oh man, we just want to annihilate each other. We just want to beat the hell out of each other.
Really?
Oh, am I the only one that feels that way?
Apparently, yeah.
Ooh,
I never feel that way.
That's a little uncomfortable.
I mean, there have been times when I've literally dreamt about poisoning you. But
see, I've never gotten that far. It's all just been physical violence, not actual murder attempt.
I like it clean, no questions.
I don't know, some of the means of poisoning somebody are far from clean, man.
Yeah, you just got to do your research there, buddy. Anyways, like we said, we got a bunch of great questions lined up from our patrons.
Yeah.
So let's dive right into it, Larson. First up, we have a question.
B-Man, Patrick Sparks.
The B apparently stands for beard now.
Yeah, it's a good-looking beard there in Patrick.
Looks pretty good. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, friendos, Pat here. All right, so I think the question at this moment in time is, what's going to be the main event of WrestleMania and what deserves it the most? Two sides of the coin. You got Ronda, Charlotte, Becky Lynch. First women's main event, big story, whatnot. Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, Becky Lynch. Arguably one of the biggest stars in the company at the moment. Say not Kofi Kingston, which I'll get to that. They deserve it, don't get me wrong, but over this past month was Ronda's heel turn, the boring stuff on Raw and SmackDown, very repetitive. I honestly don't think it's your main event. Ronda's probably going to win. They've been killing Becky. On the other side, I really want Kofi to win. And if he doesn't, they're going to boo. And if he does, and it's the main event, it'll be amazing. So, Kofi in the main event, my pick. What should main event? What's going to main event? Thanks, friendos.
Thank you, B-Man.
Thank you, B-Man.
You're going to go first.
I get the feeling that Patrick Sparks one day is going to write a manifesto. He's got that beard going.
Well, I got a beard too. I'm not on the verge of writing any manifesto.
He's going to be in the... sometimes I feel like you're going to write a manifesto too. You're going to get a shack in the woods.
I don't really like the outdoors that much, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fend for myself.
I'm not sure you could ever be a Luddite. Yeah,
I enjoy the comforts of modern life too much.
All right, so I'll go first. The question is, who's going to main event WrestleMania 35? It's going to be Ronda, Becky, Charlotte. I don't think Ronda's sticking around. I think that this sudden heel turn, and they've done a very good job, I think, with it, is just to further get a bigger reaction when Becky taps out Ronda. I think that this is their one opportunity to do the women's main event at WrestleMania. It's a hot feud. Ronda's a big name. And this heel turn is they're letting her get away with all sorts of stuff that they wouldn't let anybody else get away with, including not reprimanding her for dropping a million F-bombs in a vlog about the WWE Universe and Becky and such. I think because of that, it's going to main event, which I think is going to... I don't know what the order of priority is here, but I'm pretty sure it goes, this is a hot angle, therefore it's going to main event WrestleMania. Because it's going to main event WrestleMania in that last slot, Becky's going to win, and Ronda's probably already said that she's going to be leaving after that. So I think that's how it's going to go down. The hottest angle right now is Kofi Kingston. A good case can be made for that main eventing just based on how hot that story is. If Vince truly hasn't decided at this point, and apparently that's the case, given that he's involved in this angle, he could elect to make that main event. But I kind of feel like they're going to go with the women. My final answer is the women are going to main event.
Yeah, that'll probably main event if Becky is slated to win. However, if Ronda decides she's going to stick around, I would not, and therefore they think, well, we can. She's been a heel for such a short period of time now. There's still a lot of heat that we can build with her, leading to a singles match between her and Becky at, say, SummerSlam. Let's hold off on having Ronda lose yet. Have her make Charlotte tap out, and we can keep the Becky-Ronda thing going for another few months. I can see that scenario. You'd made the case for Kofi and Daniel Bryan main eventing. It is the hottest storyline right now in WWE by far. It's got all the momentum. A case can be made for that main eventing. You can also make a case for Seth Brock main eventing just because Brock's in the match with the Universal title. You can have a really nice moment between the three members of the Shield. I know they said at Raw a couple weeks ago that they're going to part ways. Dean's going to help Roman beat Drew. Have one last moment between the three of them before Dean says goodbye, going off back to CZW, wherever he's going to go. A case can be made for any three of those matches main eventing the show. But, again, assuming Becky is booked to win it, then if Becky is going to win the Raw Women's title, that match has to main event the show. Absolutely has to.
Let me ask you something real quick. So I was looking back at the past WrestleManias. Obviously, Roman's main event, the last batch of them, including his match. It was a non-title match. It was against The Undertaker when he retired The Undertaker. It doesn't feel like... So obviously they go with the biggest match in Vince's head.
They go with the biggest money match that could potentially lead to a huge moment. Yeah.
They don't seem to care about... Vince doesn't seem to care about if the big moment is a crowd pleaser or not a crowd pleaser.
Not necessarily, no.
Something as big of a bummer, although Ronda still has her fans, but she's super heel right now. Her tapping out Becky would be a massive moment, and it would be just a tsunami of boos. It would be a boonami.
I mean, you're gonna risk a riot, maybe.
That's possible. Would he close Mania on such a massive boonami?
Not Ronda tapping out Becky. No, Ronda tapping out Charlotte. That's plausible. Becky, no.
But here's the thing: the bigger moment.
Becky's not taking the loss on that match.
The bigger deal is Ronda tapping out Becky.
I understand.
That match. That's probably the biggest money match because Ronda.
Yeah, and that's why I should probably main event the show.
That's probably going to end up.
That's why I should main event the show.
Yeah.
Especially if Becky wins. And the only reason I'd say they might hesitate to have it main event if Becky isn't going to win is for what you mentioned, the boonami, the near riot that could break out. Should Becky lose, especially if she is the one to actually lose the match.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If
three of these have really good cases,
yeah.
But Kofi is really making a big case.
I know. Because I feel like...
And Vince is involved in that.
I know. If Ronda is going to leave after or shortly after Mania, but they decide to have her win just to do the the heat for heat's sake thing, it feels like I'm trying to. There's part of it is what is the money match, and also because we've been saying for a while, 2 out of 3 of these matches are going to go the way the fans want. Just my gut feeling. And so one thing you got to consider is which of these matches are pretty much blow-offs. Which of these matches are going to end these feuds? Seth Brock seems pretty obvious. Probably, especially if Seth is to win, that's the end of it.
I still think they can kick that to Saudi.
They could
to Saudi Arabia.
They probably could.
I think, and the closer we get to it, that's the one that I think would probably go the way of Brock winning. Because I mean, literally, we were here last year saying that's going to be the end of Brock Roman, and they.
For example, though, if say they do Kofi versus Daniel Bryan at Mania, it's on in the last third of the card, but not the main event. Because they're going to have Daniel Bryan win only to eventually continue the feud and have Kofi pick up the belt somewhere down the line.
Yeah, that's my least likely scenario. I still think Kofi is...
Or in the case of Ronda, she wins only to further the feud, so Becky eventually beats her at SummerSlam.
I think if you step outside of all that, of the minutia, to say women main event at WrestleMania, regardless of the outcome, of who's tapping out who, women main event at WrestleMania. That's sort of I think that's the biggest thing, And I think that's what they look at, and I think that's what they're going to go with.
Probably, yeah.
It seems to make sense. But I could see from the standpoint of the first African American winning the WWE Championship, I could see Vince being convinced that that's in the main event. But I think that moment alone is a big enough moment. You don't need that in the main. Like the main event is just extra. Women main eventing is such a big deal, regardless of outcome. That's the main event. First African American winning the WWE Championship, regardless of where that's on the card, that's a huge moment.
Yes.
And so I think that one doesn't have to be in the main event.
Yeah.
And then Seth Brock it's just more Brock. And so
we've seen Brock win the Universal Championship, not in the main event.
Yeah.
So it'll. If I was a betting man, I'd put a decent portion of my life savings on Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte.
I agree. We both agree. Next up, we have a question from a bear.
Oh, it's a bear.
It's a bear. Let's see what bear has to say.
Oh, there's Stephen Larson. I'm just a bear. I interrupted my hibernation schedule just to ask you a question. Why the hell WWE, I read the dirt sheets, it's how I'm up on the information. Why in the hell does the WWE think a racist angle against Kofi Kingston is a good way to go? What the hell?
Thank you, a bear.
Thank you, a bear.
A bear.
So, Larson, we're going to just discuss this one. There's no really debating necessary. Why do you think the WWE thinks racial undertones in the Kofi Kingston angle is a good idea?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to say because it is. It's spotlighting something that the WWE has been criticized for with good reason. We've never had an African-American hold the WWE lineage title.
Correct.
Which a lot of people, including myself, think is kind of a stain on the WWE's legacy. I think there's been numerous opportunities. It's funny because when you go back, if you say, well, nobody's really been worthy of the title, which I've seen on Twitter, you take a look, for example, Bobby Lashley wasn't the best on the mic, although it's kind of crazy when you just let the dude talk in like TNA
on
or
Impact, he was fine.
Yeah, he was great. Putting the title on somebody isn't simply, this is where they're at right here, we're putting the title on them. It's WWE puts money and resources behind them becoming champion. As we've seen now with Kofi Kingston, they're putting resources, they're putting airtime, they're putting the entire last hour of SmackDown, they're putting wins, his power levels behind him to boost him to that level. So we haven't seen them do that with somebody.
Not that there hasn't been people capable of
exactly
fulfilling that role. You've had Booker T, you've had Mark Henry, you've had talent who are more than capable of of succeeding wildly in that role. Yes.
So they haven't done it. I think adding it to this angle, and you can look at it in a subtle way, and I can see it.
Well, I think so far the difference has been it's been kind of subtle, maybe.
So from one perspective, it could be, you could look at it and see subtle. On the other hand,
well, I'm contrast it with the Booker T Triple H feud, where that was not subtle.
That was not subtle at all. Triple H looking at somebody and saying, "People like you." That's not subtle at all. At the same time, when you look at Vince McMahon coming out and doing this, it's not exactly subtle.
I don't know what the exact word is.
It's
subtle isn't the right word.
It's maybe less subtle than Triple H staring at Booker T saying, "People like you."
Yeah, I mean,
it's still pretty obvious.
Triple H Booker T program, that was overt.
So yeah, you can. But no, I think that I think it might be. I mean, I don't know. But I'm guessing that it's probably Vince's way of directly addressing that criticism.
Could be.
And maybe in his mind, righting a wrong. Something that they consider maybe a stain. Although I'm not sure Vince ever questions himself or any of his decisions.
I don't think so, because if it weren't for Mustafa Ali getting hurt, he wouldn't be in this situation right now.
Yeah, that's true. However, when presented with the opportunity to address maybe criticism and make some money off it, which is all he really cares about.
Yes.
Then they're running with it, and I don't know. I think the video that we saw from Big E this past week,
that was kind of the most telling.
It was.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that seemingly back in the writer's room, they've commiserated with the New Day and they said, hey, feel free to go in this direction with it.
Well, and I imagine also it's like, do you feel comfortable going in this direction with it?
You would hope that
I would like to hope so.
You would hope that's the case. And I think that they all probably understand. I would imagine New Day is one of those acts where nobody's writing their promos.
Yeah.
You know? And I think they obviously understand these guys will know how to run with this in a way that is, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I have all the trust in the New Day, how they would handle this kind of material.
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah, I know. Not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
And that would be my worry is again, with the Triple H Booker T angle, it was overt. And it's been an aspect of the storyline so far, but has been seemingly the sole focus, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just all, I guess, it's in the handling of it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really it's precarious ground to try to tread unless you're confident that you can handle it.
Well, like you mentioned the SmackDown recap.
Carefully.
Like you mentioned the SmackDown recap, we don't have a lot. They don't have a good history.
No.
So we're it's okay to be pessimistic about how it's going to come
very much
out.
Pessimistic.
But given that Vince seems to be handing a lot of he's giving the reins to the performers to perform properly and to carry this out in a way that is satisfying and doesn't feel exploitative.
Yes, that's the key.
Then I think he's done that so far. Like you look at how Daniel Bryan and his promos have gone.
Yeah.
The New Day and how their reactions are. I think they're handling in a way that I find entertaining and appropriate. People out there might disagree, but I don't know if you can disagree with Kofi Kingston winning that title at Mania, and I think that's going to happen.
Now, a lot of it depends on the outcome. If the outcome is the sensible one, Kofi winning.
Yeah, anything beyond that, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anything that isn't Kofi winning at Mania is the wrong thing. No, you can't push it down the line, man. You can't do that with this. It doesn't work.
I'm not saying it worked, but I could see in their minds where they would see a situation where they think it would work. I think Kofi winning at Mania has to be the outcome. However, again, heat for heat's sake, especially if they really like Daniel Bryan as a heel.
And when you're looking at the history of it, you're right to think that they might do that, but that would be bad.
I mean, I'm separating my own thoughts.
Yeah,
I think Kofi should win at Mania from how they may think is the best way to operate.
What we presented with evidence from their past,
which is get more heat on Daniel Bryan, more heat. So when Kofi eventually beats him. So I think their perception of peak heat is off by about 3 months. They tend to think peak heat happens 3 months after it actually does.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah,
and that's kind of the issue.
Yeah.
The Triple H Booker T program at WrestleMania 19, that was the blow off, right? There was nothing else.
Pretty
after
sure that was a blow off.
Right.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was it.
I thought so too, but I wasn't sure.
Next, from the Cult of False Realities, let's see what he has to ask.
What's good, Stephen Larson? You already know the name. Let's get into this question. So, we've seen so many wrestlers come back from like horrible career-ending injuries. We saw Daniel Bryan come back. Now he's having one of the greatest runs in his whole career. So my match chat question for today is, who do you want to see come back and have maybe not a Daniel Bryan run? I'm going to say at least a Goldberg / say Ronda run, if depending on if she even stays that long. But someone of a run like that. I kind of want to see Corey Graves come back, and instead of having John Cena go against Kurt Angle, let it be Corey. But let me know what you think. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Cult of False Realities.
Thank you, Cult of False Realities. Paige, man. I know it's not possible because she said one bad bump and she could be paralyzed.
We didn't think coming back from a messed up brain was possible. I know this is a neck and it's different, but still. Kind of.
Yeah, we're talking paralysis. I know, but nonetheless, let's kind of set some of that aside. Say there's some breakthrough in medicine,
miracle.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty great if Paige could return. She's still really young. Still feels like there's a lot she could do, and she'd fit in perfectly with what's going on in the women's scene right now in WWE.
That's a great answer. It would be my number one answer. So I'll come up with somebody else. I'll come up with one more thing. It worked 2 years ago. Goldberg. I could see another Goldberg run. I really enjoyed the thing he did with Brock. If he's in good shape, that was like the perfect return, all wrapped up in one package. And honestly, it was the perfect goodbye. Mm-hmm. But given that I can't say Paige, I no longer really care to see CM Punk back. I can't think of anybody else. Can you think of anybody else?
Dean Malenko.
No.
Who else had to retire prematurely because of injury? Edge.
Again, yeah. If the same person
That was also 8 years ago.
Yeah, he looks old these days. He looks great. He looks great.
Yeah, he looks happy.
But I don't know. I mean, you got Christian out there.
Mm-hmm. That's brain stuff too. He had too many.
Oh, was that too? Was that? Did he? Okay.
Who's
on our wall back here? How about Lex
Sting.
Luger?
Sting. He moved.
Old.
I know, but he was still moving pretty well for someone in their mid-50s, man.
Shibata.
He wasn't showing that's not a bad answer. The wear and tear that the Undertaker had.
Well, yeah, it's totally Shibata.
Yeah, Shibata's a good answer.
God, can't be headbutting people, man.
No.
Anyways, Paige is the answer. Paige is a great answer. Next up, Stephen M has a good question. Get what I did there? Mm-hmm. Good. It's about Dean Ambrose.
Everyone knows it's the day after St. Patrick's Day, so I'm feeling fairly rough. But got me into thinking about rough matches, which made me think of Dean Ambrose. So who should Dean wrestle or Jonathan Good wrestle after he leaves WWE? Granted, he goes to say like AEW. I really, really want to see him wrestle Jimmy Havoc in AEW. That would be amazing. Just turn up at Double or Nothing or wherever on the shows and just have an absolute bloodbath. Too sweet. Hardy handshake. See you shortly.
Thank you, Stephen M.
Thank you, Stephen M.
Would you like to go first?
Yeah. All so right. Jonathan Good, Dean Ambrose, big CZW guy. Who's the current CZW?
I have no
deathmatch
idea.
CZW deathmatch.
Who's just the CZW champion?
Champions. Let's see here. Tournament of Death. Let's see here. Oh my gosh! Wow, a lot of stuff going on here. What? Wow. Tournament of Death 17. Is that the latest one? June of 2018. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know any of these people. Who won it?
Current
Round 2 finals.
CZW champion is Mance Warner.
Who's Jimmy Lloyd?
And previous one was MJF. Other recent champions include Shane Strickland, Davey Richards, and Leo Rush.
All right, so I'll take this.
Jonathan Gresham.
Jimmy Lloyd, the current King of the Death Matches guy in CZW. Him versus Jonathan Good.
Or John Moxley. Former CZW champion in his own right.
So there you go. Or Supreme.
2010.
Remember Supreme?
Does he still wrestle?
No.
Oh, all right.
How about Abdullah the Butcher?
I don't think he wrestles
78
either.
years old.
He's old.
Get him in a death match.
What about Nick Gage?
Yeah, that's the right answer. Because he's like the most prominent deathmatch guy on the indie scene.
I guess.
Right now.
Or Jimmy Havoc.
Or David Arquette.
There you go.
David Arquette. King of the death matches. I don't think he's going to do another death match.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can. If he can go somewhere and put on matches of the caliber as his Falls Count Anywhere match with Drew,
yeah,
that'd be a huge improvement. Mm-hmm. Like he can just has the freedom not necessarily do Falls Count Anywhere matches all the time, but to put a little more edge on his work than he currently can in WWE, I think that'd be a huge improvement for him. That's probably what he's looking for.
Let's do this. Let's say he goes to All Elite Wrestling. Let's see here.
Well, there's Jimmy Havoc because he's on the roster now.
Yeah, right. GameSpot has.
What about Chris Jericho? No, they had a terrible cage match in WWE.
Yeah, it was awful.
Just a terrible cage match.
What's their roster? List of all personnel. Here we go. Male wrestlers. All right, here we go.
Oh, Joey Janela.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. That's good. Pac.
That'd be good.
Let's see here.
Christopher Daniels.
Oh, yeah. Pentagon Jr.
Yeah.
It's Pentagon Jr.
The hardcore guy from TNA.
The hardcore guy from TNA, Pentagon Jr. There's my answer. Awesome.
All good answers.
All good answers. Wow, what a bunch of great answers.
Yes, stellar answers. Next, Matt Chet Hall of Famer Zach S. Let's see what Zach has to say.
What's good, Steve Larson, Manny Friendos out there? It is your Match at Hall of Famer Zach S. coming at you with another Match at question. Question this week is Stephen Larson. In this day and age, why have the WWE wrestlers just not gotten together and created a wrestlers association or a wrestlers union? And how much of that do you think has to do with just Vince and who he is as a businessman? Thanks, boys.
Thank you, Zach S.
Thank you, Zach S.
So why no wrestlers union? That's a tough question.
I don't know. I would imagine forming unions is tough.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know if it's even possible in the independents. I don't think it's possible.
I don't believe it's possible at all. I don't think it's possible at
And
all. Here's the reason why. I think. You would have to get promoters to sign on to it, right?
Well, I think you'd have to have promoters sign on to it, and I guess if there's going to be some sort of industry-wide health insurance, promoters would have to pay into that.
Yeah.
And a lot of promoters,
there's not enough.
There's not enough money.
It boils down to this: there's not enough money on the independent scene.
No.
There just isn't enough money.
No.
Like, you know.
Now, if you want to talk the big leagues, if you want to talk WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact. I don't know in New Japan what their situation is, whether they get health insurance, that kind of stuff. I have no idea. I'm going to assume that Impact and Ring of Honor treats talent in the same way as WWE, in that they're independent contractors, and as such they provide basically no benefits for them. I think WWE. I don't think, is WWE the only promotion that if you get hurt in the ring, they'll cover your injury? That's if it's so long as it happens in ring.
I don't know,
because Cody talked about that.
Yeah,
and we've heard that before.
I know I know they do that.
Yeah, but beyond that, any sort of other health insurance they do not provide.
Yeah.
So I would guess if there is any sort of union form, there's any sort of collective bargaining done strictly in WWE. I guess what would be the platform? It'd have to be health benefits across the board.
Yeah.
I would think a question we'll get to later from Thereth Tabata, maybe a lighter schedule, off season potentially.
Yeah.
I guess like a guaranteed downside minimum.
Yeah. The problem is, I mean, one of the things is,
I mean, like when you like anybody who starts with the company there's a lowest level guarantee. Like no one will ever make below that much. You know.
Yeah. I mean, there's just But I don't know. I mean, nobody's done it. It seems tricky. There's one guy who controls everything, and usually that's going to prevent unions from happening.
Yeah, if that one person doesn't want a union, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm not gonna act like I know.
And I'm guessing
the answer.
The circumstances for wrestlers now are way better than they were in the 80s.
Yeah, when
there was a lot of steam, in terms of getting the wrestlers unionized in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I think they work slightly less.
Mm-hmm.
The medical or medical facilities are better, like in terms of trainers and stuff.
Yeah,
everything that I've read of late is like the wrestlers are really well taken care of in terms of keeping their bodies, in good condition and keeping themselves as healthy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe for the most part, maybe not all of wrestlers, speaking as a collective group, worries have been satisfied per se.
Yeah.
But maybe enough of them have that it's not as huge of a deal as it maybe was then. And also, I imagine a lot of the guys in WWE now who made their way up to the independents, this is what they know wrestling to be.
Yeah.
And they've adapted to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And hopefully, enough of them have gone out and gotten their own health insurance. And
unions can be overrated anyways. Lacey literally dropped out of the postal union because it's like, I don't know. She's like, what exactly are they doing for me? Anyways, moving on. Zenith64 has a question. Let's see what he's got to say.
Salutations, friendo. So, alternate universe time. Let's just say Roman Reigns wasn't diagnosed with his sickness. I bet he would still be holding the Universal title even past Mania. So my question is, if Roman Reigns wasn't sick and he still held on to the Universal title, who would he have dropped it to? Would it still be Rollins? Anybody else? And how would that storyline look like? And how would people react? Because I'm curious if he still would have held it. Thanks. Goodbye.
Thank you, Xena64.
Thank you, Xena64.
Go ahead, Steve.
I'm going to say it'd be Braun because Braun turned face literally the night that Roman was vacated his title. He was a heel. He was a monster heel. It was him and Baron and Drew and Lashley all on a team, but Baron seemed to be kind of, although Baron was like the ringleader, Braun seemed to be, is that how it was? No, they were attacking him. Wait, how did that go? It was Dolphin. It was Dolphin, Drew, and Braun. Mm-hmm. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he was.
Braun had Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and he was a big bad guy. So probably Braun. I mean, he seemed to be top monster heel guy. I'm gonna say it's Braun.
Drew.
Yeah.
Drew.
Maybe.
I think I read that if Roman hadn't gotten sick, his Mania opponent would have been Dean Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
He would have won that match.
Yeah, he would have won that match.
Roman, that is, not
Roman.
Dean.
Yeah, not Dean.
And Roman would have probably carried the belt at least till SummerSlam.
Yeah.
At which point, maybe you put Drew into the title picture. Maybe not. Maybe you wait a while. I had a feeling Roman was going to have that belt for a while, though.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Yeah.
I would say Drew, though, because Braun, they've by what, November, whenever Roman announced that his leukemia had returned, the bloom had come off the rose with Braun a bit after that heel turn.
The heel turn was terrible.
It was terrible. It killed all his momentum completely. Just put a full stop on it.
Yeah.
Even they tried with his face turn right afterwards and didn't do anything.
And now he's going to be in the Andre the Battle Royal Giant
fighting
Colin
in
Jost.
in a celebrity segment with SNL cast members.
Yeah.
A year after winning the tag titles with a 10-year-old.
Yeah, dude. It's not good.
It's not the spot. Drew, he is not in that spot. He is in I'm heading right to the main event spot right now. He would have been then. They already kind of were planting the seeds for the that partnership between Dolph, Drew, and Braun to go by the wayside even before Roman, I believe, vacated the title. It would have been Drew all the way.
Yeah, maybe. Next up. Okay, here's the thing. Don't do what Christian's doing
Don't
here.
drive in Matt Chat, please.
Don't drive in Matt Chat. We're going to give Christian a pass here because he already recorded his videos. But you can't do this.
Yeah, please don't do this. It's not
Christian,
safe.
Go ahead with your question.
And I hope the corresponding post to this question was not also written from the road.
God, I hope not.
So hopefully you just record this video in the car. Once you got to your destination, you posted video and wrote your...
Don't even bring that up because...
So above all else, please, Matt Chatters, be safe.
Yeah,
Friendos,
don't do this while you're
safe.
driving.
Anyways, let's take a look at Christian's question here.
Hey Steve, hey Larson, it is the Hall of Famer Christian here with a Matt Chat question while driving. So, if it doesn't get to you, you know why. My question to you guys today is to indulge me a little bit. I'm going to attach to this video 2 days of WrestleMania, proposing a 2-day WrestleMania, much like the coming Wrestle Kingdom. And I want each of you guys to pick a day and tell me which is the better day of WrestleMania. And also, I would like you guys kind of do 2 questions in one here. I know, a lot to ask, but I'm the Hall of Famer, so I think that's okay. I would also like you guys to debate whether or not a 2-day WrestleMania would work with the weekend and how it's scheduled out and everything. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian.
But again,
please be safe.
No driving when you're Matt chatting. That's it.
All right. Should WrestleMania be 2 days? Heck yes, man. Think about it.
Should that be my? I thought that was my answer. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying yes.
All right.
You get 2 3-hour shows instead of one 15-hour show. That's great.
The math doesn't work there.
Think about it. Add the kickoff show. WWE, instead of filling a giant stadium once, they get to do it twice on consecutive days.
That's true.
Money for them. Us, it's a lot of work. 2 consecutive days of reaction live streaming. That's twice the money for us in super chats.
Okay.
Thinking about us. Selfishness. Check in our department.
Okay.
And also, you get the opportunity for some of these matches to breathe a little bit. You got reportedly 17 matches at Mania this year. A couple of them would be under 10 minutes. Probably a lot of them have to be under 10 minutes. Some of them could probably, like the Cruiserweight match, it's probably be under 10 minutes. Which is a bummer because I feel like Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese could put on a hell of a match if given 15, 20 minutes. I think it'd be stellar match of the year contender.
Muddy Murphy?
Because we just saw Tony Nese and Cedric Alexander put on a heck of a match. Main event at 205
Live. It was a
Live.
27-minute match.
And it was great.
It was great.
Told a great story.
Cedric.
But that match, whoever Asuka's going to defeat for the women's title,
7 minutes.
like 6. If she's facing both Fire and Desire, they're going to end up like costing each other the match. Asuka's going to make quick work of them. There's probably about half the matches that'll be under 10 minutes. Some of which should be longer than that. And make it a whole more of a weekend event. Like, I don't know, put the Hall of Fame thing on Thursday or something. I don't know how you'd make that all work. You probably have to do because you'd have SmackDown on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Takeover also on Friday.
You'd have to do the Hall of Fame like during the day on Saturday.
I know.
And then Takeover
and then
Saturday night. Oh,
no. Mania would be Saturday and Sunday because Raw's on Monday.
See.
No, you can do it. You can do it.
You can't do it.
You
No,
can do
you
it,
just
man.
you can't
You
do
just make it a whole week long. So you have the Raw before on Monday.
No.
Tuesday you get off. Wednesday is Hall of Fame. Thursday is Takeover. Friday is SmackDown. Saturday and Sunday are Mania, and then you have Raw and SmackDown.
Look,
That's how you do it.
Here's how you do it.
A week-long festival of wrestling.
You get your special attraction match, whatever that is. Your equivalent to Roman versus Taker. Okay, you get that match on WrestleMania, Universal WWE title, Raw and SmackDown women's. That's 5 matches. That's good. That's good for a Mania right there. Maybe you toss in, you unify the tag titles same way the women have unified theirs, and you get rid of teams like the Ascension, the Colognes, et cetera, so you can have the tag match too.
You gotta have your Battle Royals in there. You love Battle Royals.
No, you don't. You get rid of those. They're useless. They're completely and totally useless. So you got 6 matches for a 4-hour WrestleMania. That's all you need. You get 6 hours for a killer 4-hour WrestleMania. Nobody at that point, because all the matches are going to be great, nobody at that point is saying, oh, TakeOver was better than WrestleMania. Oh, so then you get a quality show. And then all the other matches, you have all the other matches, Intercontinental, US, all that stuff. You have all those other matches at Access. You have them all at Access.
You don't have the Intercontinental
you have
title
people
match on Access.
in line
Get
for a
outta
meet
here.
and greet. You see a match,
Get outta
and then
here.
you go in line for the meet and greet right after the match.
Ridiculous.
You have it all at Access.
You don't have the Intercontinental
You
title.
stream
to
it
fit
live
in
on the
Access.
network.
That's foolishness.
Absolutely.
That's foolishness.
You put it on at Access.
You put it on the main card of WrestleMania. It's the Intercontinental title. It's the workhorse title.
Who has it right now?
Bob Lashley.
Worse.
Finn Balor's gonna get back in Mania though.
Nobody's gonna care. The match is gonna be a 7-minute fart. Should be at Access 30 minutes.
They're not gonna give it 30 minutes. They'll give it less time at Access.
No, they wouldn't.
Because they gotta shove in
Access is like week long.
They gotta shove in 4 matches before the next autograph signing start because half the crowd is gonna leave to go meet Becky Lynch. Think about this stuff, man.
You can watch it from the line.
No, you can, did you not see how Access was at Rumble?
Not really.
There was like one half of a wall that was open that was leading to the rest of the thing. All the other sides were curtained or tarped off.
All
you
the
couldn't
matches
see it.
at Access.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
I just want a 4-hour WrestleMania and then I can go home.
Well, then you got to go watch like WrestleMania 19 or something.
I know. It makes me very happy. I yearn for it worked fine back then. It'll still work fine now.
I mean, some of the WrestleManias back then were trash too.
I know.
Length has nothing to do whether it's be good or not.
The talent these days is way too good not to be good. 4 hours is perfect.
Explain
Hell,
WrestleMania 32 then.
3.5 hours. Because it was like 6 hours long.
Yeah, but it was shorter than last year's, and last year's was a better show.
Shorter than last year's. Yeah, no, that's because the booking was better.
See, it doesn't have anything. It's not all in talent's hands.
Dude, I don't want to sit through 17 matches. I literally have to go buy a recliner now. I don't have money for that.
Bring a couch. I'm gonna bring a couch, man.
And then you got us these bunk shirts. Can't even sell stuff to buy a recliner now. Anyways.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes. Oh, we got to say, Christian put up his 2-day WrestleMania card.
So here's what you do. You take the last 3 matches of both days. That's your card. The rest of it, put it at Access, and we're good.
That's crap.
Moving on.
That's crap.
There's
Tabata
has a question. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, should WWE keep doing house shows throughout the year, or should they just get rid of them entirely? I mean, in my opinion, I know they're fun, but they really don't serve any real purpose other than just exhausting wrestlers, and which just ends up allowing them to cause more and more injuries throughout the year. I don't think an off-season would be necessary if you just got rid of the main roster house shows. I mean, NXT house shows, I see the value in them to allow younger talent who's not really experienced in wrestling just gain more experience and allow them to wrestle more, which is how you get better eventually. But other than NXT house shows, should they keep the main roster house shows. I mean, I think I read somewhere that they don't even make a profit for them anymore. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Fair Thabata. Yeah, of course they should keep on doing house shows. They're a cheap way for fans to experience WWE, and they're super cheap.
Slightly cheap. No, they're not super cheap. They're cheaper.
You can get a lower bowl for like $20.
Yeah, but if you want to sit ringside, like they still have those $500 packages for house shows, first 2 rows.
Yeah, but
You get
I'm
like
saying
a VIP. No, it's slightly cheaper. Yes, I understand.
people, I'm bringing the family out.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's a lot more reasonable for a family of 5 than going to a Raw.
Yeah,
so
it's a bit cheaper. Yeah.
So I think they should do them. I do think they should probably pare them down. Do we know how many house shows do they do per week? 3?
Well, I think each brand does 3.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think for Raw talents, they have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Raw. Is that right? Or is it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Raw?
I don't know. Well, I would think they have 2 days off a week, right?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Raw. And then,
That's way too much.
yeah, they should be doing 4 house shows.
2 house shows and a TV.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I
3
have.
matches a week. You're good to go. Oh, that's what you have?
Yeah, 2 house shows.
Good to go.
It's like if you work Raw, you work Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Rest up.
Yep.
And then maybe, look, if you want to do the other days, do some media or something.
And here's
give everybody a YouTube channel.
There you go. What I kind of find ridiculous is that SmackDown will run house shows opposite Raw on Monday nights in nearby markets. Like, for example, I think one time Raw was here.
That's weird.
And there's a SmackDown house show in Stockton, which is about 45 minutes away.
That's weird.
Unless you just really like the SmackDown roster.
Which I do.
Which I do too. You're probably gonna, if you want to watch wrestling, you're gonna spend a little bit extra money and spend more time in the car to drive up to the Golden One to watch Raw, as opposed to watch a house show, which for the most part doesn't really matter.
When Raw came to town, where was the SmackDown?
I think it was in Stockton. Usually it's in Stockton.
Okay. Yeah.
I could be wrong. One time, I don't know if it's the last time, but one of the more recent times Raw was here, the house show the same night was in Stockton.
House shows are fun.
They are fun. We went to a house show at Golden One.
Wayne Maker and his little baby girl Sienna have a question. It's amazing that he was able to produce something that's so adorable. A little girl that's so adorable, and he is so not. He's literally the opposite. A mug.
Take it away, Wayne Maker.
Hello, Stephen Larson. Wayne Maker here, and I'm joined with... And as we came back from... sausage. And as we came back from Disney on Ice, Sienna would like to ask a question. What's your question, darling? What's your question?
Hello, Stephen Larson. We'd like to say that princesses have a good rumble to win a Disney match.
So, who would win? Is that what you're asking? Mm-hmm. So, you're saying who would win? Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble.
Who would be your pick?
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. All right, well, there you go. Sienna picks Rapunzel. Who do you guys pick? Too sweet, throw up, and a hearty handshake. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Wayne Maker.
Thank you, Sienna.
Thank you, Sienna.
I'm not thanking him for anything.
Thank you, Sienna.
Wayne Maker, get off the screen. Your kid's adorable. Let her do the talking. All right? Anyways, we're going to talk some Disney princesses right now.
Yeah, so there's a Royal Rumble of Disney princesses.
Yeah.
I think the answer for the winner is obvious. It's Elsa from Frozen.
You're not allowed to use superpower. Bray Wyatt's not going around Royal Rumbles using his superpowers. She has to not use those superpowers. Banned from using superpowers.
Where does it say that?
In the rule book.
No.
Yeah, it's in the rule book. I looked it up.
That rule book is a doodle pad for somebody. It's not real rules.
But clearly in the doodles it says...
Well, hand it to me. I'll say you can use superpowers in your matches. Done. It's in the rule book.
Superpowers not allowed.
Elsa wins.
No, man.
She has actual powers.
It's Merida from Brave.
What about Mulan?
Does she have powers?
No, but she had to fake that she was a dude to go fight.
Oh yeah.
So she has a lot of battlefield experience.
Yeah, but Merida she didn't have to fake a dude. She was just, and she had to confront that openly. She was like, bang, and they're like, oh yeah, can I shoot arrows, Merida?
You can't shoot arrows in a wrestling match.
Yeah, but she still, you got to be tough. I forget exactly what she did in Brave. I've seen that movie like a million times.
Really? I've never seen it.
Don't remember a whole lot from it.
Who else? Would you consider Moana a Disney princess? She's a chief's daughter.
Yeah. No, of course.
Moana's got a lot of gumption. I like her a lot.
Yeah. What does she do? She hung out with The Rock.
Yeah,
she hung out with The Rock.
And she
learns a lot of.
She bested
a giant crab guy.
Yeah, and also
Jermaine
the fire
Clement.
monster.
Yeah.
Wow, the name of that monster escapes me. Taka.
Yeah, okay.
Taka. She bested Taka single-handedly.
Okay.
Put the heart of Tafiti back
Mm-hmm.
and brought, life back to the islands. That's a really good movie. I like Moana a lot.
I love that movie. It's a great.
Sleeping Beauty would last the longest
So shiny.
because Princess Aurora could pull a road dog and just take a nap on the apron.
True.
And last a good majority of the match.
Okay. Also, Merida looks like Becky Lynch.
All right.
We know how those Irish fight. The Fighting Irish. That's what their name are. They're not the Fighting
Notre
Irish.
Dame. Yeah. Who else? What are their Cinderella? I don't know.
Garbage. I mean, Rapunzel. She has got the hair.
Yeah, she might have most eliminations if she has
Most
control over the
eliminations.
hair. Yeah.
To throw people out. Yeah. Okay.
Who else? Who's missing?
Snow White. Garbage.
She's not a princess though.
They're all. I mean, they're all considered princesses.
I know, but I don't think Snow White's actually of royalty.
That doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, if you're a princess, that's the thing.
No, I think it's just a generic term for like the leading ladies of the Disney cartoon universe.
Oh, that's kind of a misnomer then.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's Disney for you.
I feel like we're missing some. Sure we are.
Yeah, we probably are. We're not freaking experts on Disney.
Else is my pick.
Okay.
She's got ice powers.
Merida is mine.
Ice powers.
Loki has a question. Let's see what Loki has to say.
Hello, Stephen Larson. Loki Richards here with this week's Match Chat question. This one comes from Gauze. It's a three-parter. First, what is your favorite submission move? Second, which submission move, if applied on a shoot fashion, would you think hurt the most? And third, which do you think would hurt the least? Or which do you think is just completely dumb? Have fun with the debate. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Loki.
When are you going to do more of them with the Freak
Just
Legion?
you wait, man. It's coming. It's coming. There's a lot of
I don't know,
storylines.
You've told me a lot of story, and none of it involved Freak Legion.
I've learned my lesson. You tend to spoil stuff, so I'm keeping my mouth shut.
I know,
from
but
here
you
on out.
always do. You
I
keep
get
on
excited
doing
and
it.
I don't think, and then once I start thinking, I realize I shouldn't tell you anything.
All right. So my favorite submission move. I mean, the coquina clutch looks like it hurts. Like it's a rear naked choke.
Yeah, I think people could really pass out.
I mean, I've seen that in UFC. I've seen rear naked chokes, and they totally pass out. So I'm going to go with the coquina clutch as the one that would hurt most. Well, you just go to sleep, which is good, but it's dangerous.
Yeah, because you could just
If
not
keep it
wake
on,
up.
you could die.
You could not wake up. Yes.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite? What's your favorite submission move?
The figure four. It's the figure four because there's always the number one was Flair, and it's funny to see people do it bad, and then like
you reverse the pressure. It makes no
reverse the
sense.
pressure that doesn't make any sense. It's the most wrestling move there is.
Figure four can hurt though if you put enough pressure on it. It can hurt your leg.
Yeah, but isn't it really easy to turn it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's really easy to turn it, so it's easy to get out of.
Submission move looks like it would hurt the least. It's those arm bars they do in WWE for wrestles.
Oh man,
not Ronda Rousey's arm bars, but when they put the one arm on the elbow, the other hand on the shoulder.
So yeah, but you can still crank down the crossface.
Oh, I don't know, man. That probably puts a lot of torque on your neck and face, or neck and back if you do it right.
Nobody does it. Yeah, if you do it right, but half the time, like,
well, that's the question.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry. The STF. When Cena does the STFU or whatever he calls it.
Well, that's not the question. The question is if you applied it shoot, like you were trying to put it on somebody and actually hurt them, which one do you think would hurt the most? And what would hurt the least?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of the least.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking is that lame looking armbar thing that they do in WWE where you just put one hand in his shoulder and the other arm under the arm.
But if you lock it in and shoot, I mean, you have control over their shoulder. You could do some stuff there.
Heel hook is my favorite submission, and it also looks like the one that might hurt the most because I've seen Ken Shamrock basically cry when Minoru Suzuki put him in it.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
I think you can legit tear up somebody's leg with that.
Yeah.
So give me a heel hook. Or what they call for Ronda the armbar, what is traditionally in pro wrestling called the cross arm breaker, or what I believe in the UFC they call an armbar, where you can actually break someone's arm.
Yeah.
That would probably hurt a lot too.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like with the coquina clutch, I don't know how much that would really hurt because you're passing out.
Well, Yeah, but I mean,
If the question is
You
what would
could die.
potentially do the most damage, yes, that's high on the
Yeah,
list. But in terms of
brain
actual
damage is
physical
really bad.
pain, I don't know how much that would really hurt.
I don't know, man. I mean, I get what you're saying, but being choked out
It might be
seems like it would
it's
suck.
probably uncomfortable.
It would suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen some of those guys do it quick though. Mm-hmm. Like you can pass out really quick.
Yeah, no.
Quick nap.
Well, it's part. I mean, I don't know if like they always say the sleeper hold. You're not getting choked. You're closing off one of the arteries in the
Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of it. If there's any science behind that whatsoever, I don't know. Anyways, Christopher Rampersad's got a question. See what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Stephen Larson. So my question is, I want you to pitch an idea to Triple H to what kind of entrance should he do for WrestleMania. You do something crazy. I would go with, come out with DX. You have them there. They get inducted in the Hall of Fame. You're a great nostalgic pop, especially if we have to sit through a 6 or 7 hour WrestleMania. The crowd is going to be tired. And who don't love DX? And we need something to wake up the crowd anyway. So I want you guys to pitch an idea to Triple H, separate or together. Go crazy with it.
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher.
I want Triple H to fly into MetLife Stadium on a private jet, land on the ramp. That alone
Which
would
is
be
probably long enough to do that.
And that alone would be a really impressive feat.
Yeah.
If nothing else happened. Out of the private jet comes himself, Ric Flair, hell, Randy Orton too.
Okay.
3/4 of Evolution.
Yeah.
And they got a bunch of ladies with them.
Oh, wow. Independent, like some of the more attractive independent women wrestlers in the area.
Yeah.
Dolled up.
Yeah.
Or I guess, do they use like modeling agencies?
Maybe.
Or escort services?
I don't know. Whatever they used to do back in the Evolution days.
Are escort services legal?
I don't know.
Aren't they all just,
I mean, in the movies, you can find them in the phone book.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how that works.
I don't know how it works either. Anyways,
I'm not going to Google Sacramento escort agency.
Probably a terrible idea.
That's probably a bad idea.
Yes. That's what I want to see. I want Triple H joined by everybody in Evolution, save for Batista, flying in on a private jet, in all the excess that is Evolution.
Okay. All right. I really liked when he came out on like the 3-wheel motorcycle with Stephanie behind him.
With the police escort?
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, the best part about that, though, was the 3D renders of Triple H on each side of the Tron doing this.
That was amazing.
That was the WrestleMania we were at.
That was so cool. So, God, how do you get bigger than that? I assume like maybe Godzilla. Like, okay, remember when Okada came out with that dinosaur?
Yeah.
Okay. So like that, but like, so scientists, number one, did you hear about that? Scientists figured out they know who Jack the Ripper is.
Oh, really?
For like certain now. It's crazy.
Who?
DNA.
No, who is it, though?
He was a Polish barber.
Oh, okay.
Named Kominski.
Wasn't he one of the suspects?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Died in 1919 in an insane asylum. Crazy that they can do that.
Crazy, yeah.
Like, just case solved. We know he is now.
Well, how come they haven't figured out who the Zodiac is yet?
Give it time.
I want to know.
Give it time. Here's how that's going to work. Zodiac is going to have some relative who gets on that 23andMe thing.
They mentioned that on the Monster podcast.
Yeah, and then they'll be able to track it back. We'll figure it out one day.
Yeah.
Anyways, how shall Triple H have his entrance? Just, you know what, man? How about this? You take it back. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You get Sable. She's going to be there anyways. And she escorts him out.
Connecticut blue blood, huh?
And he bows.
He curtsies.
I guess. But then, swerve. That was just like a hologram. Real Triple H comes out with a sledgehammer and he bashes it and like it dithers. It dithers away.
Good idea.
He's got the Thanos glove.
It's the Infinity Gauntlet, yeah.
The Infinity Gauntlet. And then, yeah.
Thanos glove. Can they call that in the next movie?
Oh, he's got the Thanos glove. I think Korg's going to be in the next one. You need to watch Ragnarok. God damn it, man. Come on.
There's a lot of movies I need to watch, man.
Can Ragnarok please be number one on your priority? It's a really fun one.
I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh.
Next, got a question from TNA for Life.
I like when, what's his name? Taika Waititi. Mm-hmm. Whenever Trump tweets something, he'll respond with, "Piss off, Ghost."
Oh, that's great.
And that's from Ragnarok.
TNA for Life, take it away.
What's up, friendos? It's your boy TNA for Life, here for another Matt Chat question. Stephen Larson, I want you each to book this year's biggest WrestleMania entrance. Take one superstar that we know is going to be at WrestleMania and book the craziest entrance that you can, the coolest, most ridiculous entrance that you can book with that person. Thanks so much. Too sweet. Hearty handshake. Peace.
Thank you, TNA for life. Do you have anything? I have an answer and I really like it, so I'm going to go.
What is this? The most ridiculous WrestleMania
entrance for anyone. So I
all right, yeah, you win. You win this one.
So Baron, he's going to enter on a boat.
I've got a boat.
And I'm going to paddle down a ramp that's made from the tears of the WWE universe.
That's good. But here's how you do it. So you remember how, like, the Tron...
I'm going to get a catamaran. What?
The Tron, like,
on the floor.
Lights up.
Yeah.
So there you got tears.
Yeah, that's the river. The river of tears he's be flowing
and then
down.
It's like a kayak with, like, wheels on it.
Yeah.
So he goes...
Yeah. But he still has to do this.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Rowing down the tear. Okay. You win that one. That's a good one. But then of course you got Batista. He could be Drax, and he's accompanied by independent wrestling versions of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go. That's ridiculous.
Where are they? They're in New York. New York,
New Jersey area.
All right.
Plenty of actors there.
Plenty of actors and independent wrestlers there. Maybe get David Starr to be Star-Lord. David Star-Lord. Oh man, that's good. That's all I got.
All right. Next from Richard Morris.
Oh, he's doing jury duty.
Yeah.
So he's got an apropos question.
Yes.
Here we go.
Hey, Stephen Larson. Richard Morris here with another Matt Chat question. Real fast, I'm here on jury duty. So which 12 wrestlers would you want on your jury if you were being tried for murder? Thank you very much. Too sweet and a hearty handshake.
Thank you, Richard Morris.
Thank you.
So let's assume that we are together on trial, same trial.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to beat a murder rap.
So here's the thing. This is what we'd want. Honestly, you probably just want the 12 smartest people that you can think of in the WWE. Number one, first and foremost, I want Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Bryan might have a bit of an anti-authoritarian rap to him. He's not going to be trusting cops.
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods.
He's got a
number
PhD,
two.
I think, in psychology or something like that.
I think so also. I'm going to put Big E on there with him.
Yes.
I'm going to put Kofi in there too.
Yes.
Because where Xavier goes, I feel like the other two will follow.
Yes, good call.
So you've got four locked in.
John
right
Cena.
He's
smart.
Oh, no. I think he trusts cops way too much. No. And he'd probably, well, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? It doesn't make me a murderer,
He's
John.
not the lawyer, though. He would be asking any question.
No, in his head, he's asking that.
Right.
Well, he shouldn't have been there. I could see that being a Cena thing.
But I could also see him being very measured in his approach.
You might be on your own. You're gonna. Can we request separate juries, please?
No, just you'll whisper to our lawyers like, I don't want Cena.
I don't want Cena, dude.
And I'll be like, all right, fine.
Okay.
All right, Cena's off.
Okay. Boy, this is a great question too. Who else do we want? I'm looking at Roman Reigns right now over there. I feel
Samoa
like
Joe.
Oh yeah, put Joe on there.
Joe.
Oh yeah, Joe would definitely. He's DTA. He don't trust them cops either. Absolutely.
We got 5 now.
We got. That's
Wow.
a solid. All we really need is 2 more.
No.
Well, no. We could have a hung jury.
Yeah, you want unanimous.
But here's the thing: you get Joe on the other side. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh no, I'm gonna." He's like, "No, this is not gonna be a hung jury." Dun, 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 dun. I wouldn't want Randy Orton. No, he'll find me guilty regardless.
Yep. Speaking of anti-authority, it's got a problem with authority. Put Becky Lynch on there.
Okay, but so now you're entering into kayfabe territory.
So?
I don't know, man. I'm thinking shoot right now. Shoot. Oh, Mustafa Ali.
Oh.
I mean, he used to be a cop.
He used to be a police officer.
So he knows that they probably lie a lot
I don't know.
on stand.
I don't know.
I think cops lie a lot on stand. I'll wager. I'll go with Mustafa Ali.
I'll give you Mustafa.
All right.
Who else kind of bucks the system?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a case for Becky Lynch, like a shoot.
I mean, she just seems cool.
She does seem cool. She's friends with all those people. I'll go with Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Man, but Becky's really charming also. She might be able to convince everybody else if she thinks that we're guilty.
Or she might be able to convince everybody else if we're not guilty.
Yeah.
But Dean Ambrose.
Oh, yeah.
He's a real wild card.
Dean's on our jury for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How many we got now?
We're at 8,
So we need
including
4
Becky.
more.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'll put Titus on there.
Okay.
He's a TED Talk guy.
Yeah.
I feel like I want Titus's open mind.
What about Ruby Riott? You can tell she's got no love for authority.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's 10. Aleister Black.
There you go.
Oh, that guy. Absolutely. You
There
can't
you
have so
go.
many tattoos
There you go.
and not be anti-authority.
Wait, how many we got? 10?
We're at 11 now.
Oh, 11. You one more.
Oh, and Zelina Vega. She'll go with her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. We're good.
That's good.
We're good.
We're good.
We're getting off.
Yep.
Scot-free, man.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
we totally did that murder too.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
No double jeopardy after we're acquitted. You can say that.
Exactly. I know. Totally. Yeah, those are all very good.
Good answers. All right. A couple of 3 text questions, in fact. First from Brad Knight. What are your biggest fears about WrestleMania 35? Thanks again for all the content. Love W, Steve W, and fun wrestling. Top fear is that Kofi loses and that's it. There's no more feud after that. I don't want Kofi to lose at Mania, period. But if there is a loss and there's the idea that this feud is going to continue where he'll eventually win it.
Yeah, just a repeat of Booker T is what you're saying.
No, because the Booker T situation, my understanding is that was it. Mania 19 was it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my worst fear. Yeah. Booker T situation, that's my worst fear. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good one. I'll say this about the card in its entirety, that somehow, even with 17 matches, at least the thing about having 17 matches is that they should be like bang, bang, bang. And it's like if you pack in a ton of matches, they're all short, then you can sort of chill during the video packages.
But you got a music performance from Elias, which will be interrupted. You got to have at least a couple interview segments with Alexa Bliss.
My
You got
hope
the
is
Saturday
that
Night Live guys are going to be
with
involved.
so
somewhat.
much stuff, somehow, some way, it'll still feel like a slog. I feel like if they keep up the pace of the matches, of the segments, then it won't feel like a slog. So, for example, I'm thinking of 27 when Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler. A half hour end to end for everything. That's my biggest fear. Is that something that's really crappy will take out a half hour of my time, which will feel like 3 hours of my time.
Yeah.
So my biggest fear that has to do with just the card itself sitting there is that I'm going to feel all 7 of these hours.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear.
All right. Brandon Ford, do you think WWE is going to do the same thing with Kofi like they did with Booker T? I hope not. And I hope the company realizes that to this day they are still ripped for the finish of that match. Booker T should have beat Triple H at WrestleMania 19.
I do not believe they will do it. There is always the lingering doubt, but I would be actually surprised if they did that. AO Worm, book a men's, women's, and tag team Survivor Series match with WWE versus Ring of Honor.
You going to piggyback on my answers? Or you want to try to put something together of your own?
Let's see here.
I feel like mine's pretty comprehensive. Anyways.
Osprey's not Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he is. He challenged Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor title. Him and Zack Sabre Jr. are going to start working more for Ring of Honor, man.
He's a New Japan guy. Get out of here with that business.
No, Will Ospreay. It's on
Let's
my team.
see here.
I'm going to have Jay Lethal.
Smarty Skrull's not even going to be a Ring of Honor by Survivor Series.
He didn't say it had to be at Survivor Series. It's a Survivor Series match. Jay Lethal, Jeff Cobb, Marty Scurll, Rush, Will Ospreay, taking on Team WWE of Kevin Owens, Keith Lee, Adam Cole Bebe, Andrade, and Ricochet. So you got Ricochet and Ospreay. They get a moment. Rush and Andrade. They get a moment. Adam Cole and Marty Scurll. They get a moment. Keith Lee and Jeff Cobb. They get a moment. I think it'd all be great. Jay Lethal, Kevin Owens. They get a moment. It'd all be outstanding stuff. Women's. Kelly Klein, Sumi Sakai, Mayu Awatani, Mandy Leone, and I know she's about to leave, Tenille Dashwood, taking on Asuka, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks and
Man,
Bayley.
You don't know nothing about any of these people. What are you?
You don't either. Don't
You're
try
right,
to.
but I'm not going to act like I do.
Oh, I know who Tenille Dashwood is. I know
Why
who Mandy
is
Leon
weren't
is.
making us pay attention to Ring of Honor.
For the tag teams, Briscoes, The Kingdom, PCO and Brody King, Dalton Castle and the boys, and then Haskins and Bandito. Lifeblood, that's their faction. Taking on the Usos, New Day, Thebar, Revival, and Redragon.
I'm just going to piggyback on yours.
I did research.
I can't. There's nothing. There's nothing else you can do. That's their entire roster. There are no deep cuts that you want to see in a featured match. This is what they have. This is what we're stuck with Ring of Honor. So yeah,
they're good answers. That's why.
Well, they're answers.
They're good answers.
You just looked at the Ring of Honor roster and started writing down names.
Yeah. What else am I supposed to do?
Know what you're talking about.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Already scrolling and being Ring of Honor come Survivor
nature
Series.
of the question.
You're crazy.
Roster members currently right now.
You are too much.
You're too much.
You're too much. This action figure right here should be on its back because that's how we all remember Virgil. You are too
much.
Look at this. He's selling a picture of Mike Tyson. Oh, man. Anyways, is that it for Match All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. All you patrons out there, we love you so much. Thanks so much. I'm pretty sure it's about the
thunder?
storm. There's a storm.
There's a storm coming.
And its
name is Thunder.
Is Thunder.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.